Alright everyone, so in this video here, I wanted to talk about making sure that your controller chargers stays put. Now what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about the controllers attaching to the chargers themselves. I'm talking about the chargers themselves staying attached to whatever surface you're trying to stick on. Now in my particular case, I'm using a shelf that's made out of wood, and I believe the tops are actually just laminated in black. So, it's not like a high-end thing or anything. It's just a generic type of shelf. But if you notice, if I move this around, these things stays put. Yes, normally they would actually be sliding around. What I actually use are the Scotch restickable dots. So have you ever seen these in the stores before? These things are actually quite useful. So they're basically just little dots, and they're reusable. So in my particular case, what I do is, at least for this particular one, I just use the full-size dots. I just use one in the front, one in the back, line it up. I stick it on the bottom. Then on the other side, there's like a clear film that you just peel the other side. And then when I attach I attach it to where I want it to. I give it some pressure, let it sit there for a minute. Then it's pretty much ready to go. For the one for the PS5, now depending on what charger you get, depends on how you approach this. In this particular case, I'm using the official Sony branded charger for the PS5, and the chargers themselves, and because they're kind of stuck on there, I don't want to take it off, but because the bottom, they're just like thin plastic just sitting on the surface. Now to be fair, in the middle section there is like a little rubber strip that you put to help minimize the charger just sliding around, but I found that on the very edges part, on the front and the back, there's like about a quarter of an inch most on each in each corner of the charger. That's just bare plastic. So basically what I do is I take one of the circles and I cut it up into strips, cut that in half, and then I basically end up with 4 little strips that I put on each corner. And then I carefully unpeel it and stick it onto the surface. Now, to be fair, I do clean both surfaces before attaching to them. So I just honestly just use some disinfectant wipes. I just have these Clorox disinfectant wipes lying around. So I just use that to clean up the surfaces, and then I let it dry, stick the little dots on them, and then it pretty much stays in place. I actually do this with both of these chargers, and if I move the camera over, I actually do the same thing with the charger for my Switch, and including the Switch dock itself. So I can literally just take this and they don't move. And that's, for me, it's not like this is like the end of the world or anything, but if you're a little more clumsy when it comes to taking your Switch in and out, it just makes it a little more convenient to just grab the Switch. And then when you're done, you just take it, put it in there, and you're done. Same thing with the controller. I can just go in, grab it. When I'm done, I can just drop it in, and it's not really going to be sliding around. I've actually done this for years now, even with past consoles. So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be gaming related stuff. It can be anything that maybe like the rubber feet a device use basically either dried up or they're lost or they don't really stick well on a particular surface. I do find most of the rubber feet though, when it comes to like glass surfaces, they actually stick really well. But when it comes to these types of wood type finishes, it would kind of stay there, but it doesn't really stay put all that well. And I've always found using these Scotch restickable dots always does the trick for me. So if you ever see these in the store and you want your stuff to stay put, it's actually not a bad way to go. Anyway, I'll end it here. Like always, have a good one. Leave those comments down below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and like always, have a good one. And yes, there are my other consoles. And by the way, I don't use those stickable dots on my consoles, at least with these two consoles, because they're already kind of heavy, and yeah, they just they kind of stay put. So yeah. Anyway, I'll end it there.